Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Changemakers podcast. Today's episode features two amazing animal activists, Rose Patterson and Ben Newman, co-directors of Animal Rising, a UK-based animal rights organization. So we recorded this episode at the CARE conference in Warsaw in Poland in September. It was on the nice rooftop outside. I got to chat to the both of them. And so in this episode, Rose and Ben, they share the story of how they infiltrated MBR Acres, which is the UK's only Beagle breeding facility for animal testing. And they carried out 2 open rescues and they rescued 23 Beagle puppies, which is so amazing. But now for these actions, they're facing burglary charges and up to 10 years in prison each, with trials starting at the end of 2025. So in this episode, we talk about what happened inside the facility and why beagles are used for toxicology testing and what it feels like to run through the mud at night holding a puppy in your arms. Then we also touch upon Animal Rising's wider work to end factory farming in the UK, where they're doing a massive investigation and building systems that block new factory farms from being approved. All in all, I really love talking to Rose and Ben and hearing about their brave actions for animals. You can support their upcoming trials and Animal Rising's work against animal testing and factory farming by visiting the link in the description of this episode. Without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Rose and Ben from Animal Rising. Hi Ben, hi Rose. I'm so happy to have you guys on the podcast with me today. I'd love it if you could give a short introductions about yourself, who you are, and what do you do?
So my name is Rose Patterson. I'm the co-director of Animal Rising and I've been with Animal Rising since the beginning of 2020. And since then, I've been responsible for organising all sorts of direct action campaigns, so shutting down McDonald's distribution centres, rescuing Beagles from MBR Acres, shutting down dairy distribution centres, and now doing the largest investigation in the world. I'll pass to you, Ben.
And I'm just the other Rose and I co-directors, and been just running some of the biggest animal campaigns in the world for the last few years.
Amazing. Should we first get personal about you guys first? So what about how long have you been vegan and when did you get into activism?
I went vegan in about 6 years ago. The reason isn't too important. I can't really remember why. I might watch Cowspiracy, and then I watched Dominion, the documentary, and then I spent 3 months ranty vegan phase. And my mum said, Ben, if you're going to go on about it so much, go do something about it.
Nice.
So and then that was the beginning. I went to an Animal Rebellion local group meeting 1 week before the pandemic, and then Rose eventually plucked me out of there and we dyed Trafalgar Square fountain red. And after that we went on this crazy, well, we're still on the journey. It's not it
hasn't ended.
It hasn't ended yet, but of where we ran is just involved. I was arrested over 20 times. I went to prison for a month. We were on the front page of newspapers, whatever. So there's a lot more to it than that. But that's been my vegan journey, and it went from and I think just got latched onto just like, oh, animal farming is bad. Must stop it.
Yeah.
and it's just that journey is continuing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my journey started when I was quite young. So in my hometown, there's an animal testing lab, and just always felt really I found out about animal testing was like the first thing for me. And just from a young age, I started telling my parents to boycott certain products that I knew were tested on animals, and wanted to stop animal testing. I was doing talks at school about animal testing, and went vegetarian around that time, and then went vegan in 2012. After watching Earthlings, which is just the most shocking documentary I've ever seen. And I just I don't know, I just always have this strong sense of the need for justice, and especially for animals. And ever since then I've been doing all sorts of activism. I did years of outreach and covert rescuing animals from farms and things like that. And then 2019 I found out about Extinction Rebellion and then Animal Rebellion, and saw this is actually, I don't know, such a much more inspiring way to make change, and I think more effective way to make change. And joined Animal Rebellion and haven't looked back. So.
Well, you guys have launched an amazing organization, so really props to you. And I'd love to hear any memorable story, because I saw you said you went into farms and you've seen exactly what happens behind closed doors. Is there anything on the podcast you'd like to share about something that was really memorable to you? Any one of those? I know you've had many experiences, but anyone that you'd like to share about?
Mm-hmm.
Beagle rescue.
Beagle rescue is probably one of the highlights and one of the most memorable.
I got got goosebumps and I was crying. There's a video that Ben showed at K4G at a workshop, and it was like, it would make me cry, and it was just, yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe you can share, yeah, about that one.
Yeah, so that was, yeah, I guess like before we did the rescue, we were told by multiple people in the movement, like, this is like, well, almost, or some people are saying this is impossible to infiltrate MBR Acres. So that's the only beagle breeding facility in the UK for animal testing, and no one had managed to get inside since around like the early 2000s or something. Was it like 90s? And yeah, so it's
Or hadn't been a rescue since the 90s.
yeah, no rescue since then. And so there's 24-hour security, barbed wire fences, obviously secured doors and things like that. And yeah, it was like super hard to get inside. And so it was like months and months of trying to work out how are we going to do this. And we just felt like we've done some like huge actions that are really hard to pull off. And we're like, if anyone's going to do it, we can. And yeah, it was just like, I don't know. Also, it didn't quite fit with our strategy because we were focused on climate and animal agriculture at the time. And
Still are.
yeah, and still are, but at the time it was like that was very much the focus, like the climate angle, and so it didn't fit with what we were doing. And yeah, even internally there was like discussion around like, is this even the right thing to do? Like, should we even do it? But yeah, we went ahead, and yeah, there was 2 beagle rescues as well. So maybe you can talk about the first one because you did both of them.
So the first one, actually the first day we just ended up trespassing on the site, and 25 of us got arrested inside the facility.
You're just to film it, is not to rescue, is that?
Yeah, we kind
The
of.
original plan was to do a rescue, but the police had somehow found out about the rescue, so we decided to just occupy that day.
And then we 25 of us got arrested there, and we filmed, and I went round actually checking lots of the doors while we were there, and then we got arrested and came out of the police cell, and it was just like, I know it is possible to get them out, and then went back in that night. Crowbars. I remember poking my head through a fence. So 3 of us did it accountably, and it really was one of the most sort of just. Actually, I phoned up Dan Kidby, who was on the other side of the country, and I said, "Do you want to come? We get the Beagles out." And it was like, it's now or never sort of thing. And then we just went in, cut a hole through the fence, and poked my head through the fence, and the security guard was there, and I just went, "Hello." and then just here for the Beagles, and it was like called through the fence. Went over to the door. It wasn't as calm as this, but just like, "Sorry, sir," just crowbarring open the door, crowbarred open the door, and then got in and got these. The most gentle animals imaginable, the Beagles. Well, which is exactly why they're used, because then the most sensitive, gentle creatures you couldn't make it up. But anyway, and got 5 Beagles out that night.
How do you even choose? Like, it's just such a rush, obviously. Like, you're just there and you're just like, okay, let's grab. And
It was hectic.
of course.
But you're running through the field with these sweet little Buddhas. They're just like the calmest little things. They've never been outside, but just they're so calm and trusting. And they trust you, even though they're just like in this horrible animal breeding. They're just so naturally such trusting animals.
Were they young of age? Do you know that?
Yeah, up to 16 weeks, I think.
Yeah, they were like, but they weren't tiny. They're still like, well,
Quite heavy.
the second time, yeah, they were like super heavy.
And are they adopted now, or?
Yeah, so they all went to, yeah, we don't know the exact locations of them, but yeah, people helped us rehome them. But yeah, so that was June 2022, the first one where 5 were rescued. And then we went back exactly 6 months later to the day. So 20th of June 2022, and then 20th of December, same year, 18 of us went back. And we were like, because yeah, your charges got dropped. So we were like, okay, well, we're going to go back again because there's...
Because we got charged for it, and then they dropped the charges 2 weeks later for lack of evidence. But we'd posted loads of the videos and stuff online and sort of thing. We'd handed ourselves into the police station, so they didn't want a trial. So and we'll see about that. And anyway, we now do have 2 trials. 2 trials, each with a maximum prison sentence of 10 years at the end of this year. I have one in December, I have one in March, and you have one.
in February, along with another open rescue of King Charles's lambs. But maybe we can talk about that in a minute.
That's another story.
Should we dive kind of into the Beagle testing stuff for people who don't know what happens to them? Because I'm guessing that they do get killed at a certain age, maybe. Like, could you share a little bit about the ins and outs of Beagle testing?
Yeah, so yeah, Beagles are mostly used for toxicology testing in the UK. They're also used for, I'm not entirely sure what they use their blood for, but yeah, at the actual breeding facility, they also like drain puppies' blood as well for
Vampires.
literally like sucking out like vampires. So yeah, they're transported from MBR to places like LabCorp and also all the way to Spain as well for to be tested on. So yeah, it's for mostly toxicology or for like medical research or scientific research. We don't have testing for cosmetics in the UK. But
Where it's as simple as keep giving them poison until they die.
Is that how so they don't die, they don't get killed, but they die from all the toxins? Is that kind of...
I mean, that can happen, but yeah, I think they also in the UK, as far as I know, they don't rehome them after they've finished testing. In some countries they do, but as far as I know, they don't do that in the UK.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing because like you think obviously we're fighting for all animals and we fight for farm animals, and there's a lot of that whole cognitive dissonance with like the farm animals are for food and the dogs and cats are the ones that people love generally, and then there's a system that exploits dogs in that way, when it's like you would assume we wouldn't do that with how people have obvious love for dogs.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly why we wouldn't. Yeah, that's exactly why we were like, we need. That's one of the reasons. I mean, obviously we want to save all animals, but because it's dogs, it's such like we want to do things that are popular and get public support.
I think you would get enough public support to like shut it down completely, but it still exists. I'm assuming, yeah.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But it's amazing that you guys do this work because you're actually the ones going into the farm and meeting these animals, because a lot of and that's very traumatic, and then obviously it fuels also the passion to keep going and make sure that until all cages are open and stuff.
And there was so you might have seen in the video there were two dogs, Love and Libby, and maybe you want to tell, because there were two dogs on the second rescue. Maybe you want to tell that story, Rose.
For the second time we went, like I said, 18 of us went back in. That was also just like complete carnage. So we came in
same farm,
same place, yeah. So because the charges got dropped,
19,
like, okay, we're going back.
19 police vans outside, but we people sat up on the ladders. Wow. We designed it so it was like so it's on top of the gate, so it's like hell in the cell. No police could get in through the gate, and there were 19 police vans while the sirens are going off inside the building, woo, 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 and 19 police vans all outside trying to get in as we're just getting more and more Beagles out going out the back. It was
like mad, yeah. Because so on my side we had like angle grinders to cut a hole in the fence, but anyway it broke, and then we were like slowly cutting, and then I could hear the alarm went off on the inside, so I knew Ben's team had got in.
Yeah.
And we got through.
Yeah, we went through came in through two sides.
Yeah, and then we got through our hole. And then, I really vividly remember getting into the shed, and it was just like everything like hits you, like the smell and the sound, and like seeing like hundreds and hundreds of puppies in all these cages, all coming up, all like barking and wanting to see us, and like they're all like tails wagging, and then we're just like running inside, and someone passed a beagle over the cage, and then we're just like running outside, and then. And like security guards, literally, it was like playing tug of war with some of the puppies. It was horrible. So they were trying to pull the puppies from us. We were just like running around, trying to find a way out of here. And then there was like a group of us at the fence with one security guard who was kind of trying to stop us, but not doing a very good job. So I was like, oh, maybe he's on our side. I don't know. Yeah. And so we're like climbing over this tall fence and passing puppies over. And then we were running through the field with another one of the rescuers, and
deep mud.
It was
tiring.
And like I said, the puppies weren't that light as well. Like they were quite heavy. And anyway, there was two people running behind us with torches, like chasing us, telling us to stop. Obviously we were still running. And then, Ben and I think you were with Kat, were running, started running one way. I started going off another direction.
I thought you were sacrificing yourself for the greater good.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I was trying to tell you to get away from where the cars were going, because you were going towards the cars, and I was saying go left. So I started going left. Anyway, the people running behind caught up with me, because I had to put this dog who we called Love afterwards. He was like licking, like he was facing me. He was like licking my face as we were running, and I don't know, we was like had this like moment, like it was like so happy, like kind of. I wasn't scared. It was just like this chaos, and then I was like kind of laughing and running, and he's licking my face, and then then had to put him down because he was like wiggling, wanting to get onto the ground. But then the two people behind jumped on top of me and they were like, "You're under arrest," and it was the police. And so then I was like trying to protect him and telling them to not to take him, and this police woman was like, "Don't worry, you can trust us, like don't worry, we're going to take care of him." And I was just like, I'm pretty sure
the police said that.
Mm-hmm. And then of course there was like nothing I could do at that point, but at least Ben and Kat had run away with 2 more Beagles, and in total 18 were saved that night. But yeah, and then I was arrested and Love was taken by the police and then taken back to MBR Acres. But yeah, there were 2 puppies that day that the police caught from us, and Love and Libby. And then there was like a big protest around releasing Love and Libby as well afterwards. But
We blocked. They didn't unleash the dog energy. We were like blocking up the police station and stuff. But there is still legend. Where are Love and Libby?
yeah,
So that's the thing.
yeah, we've heard rumors that they may have been rehomed, but yeah.
Moved to Mexico or something.
Wow, this is such proper activism. Like, this is so cool and inspiring. So when it comes to what kind of felonies are you charged with? What kind of, is it trespassing? What is, because I know that Direct Action Everywhere in like California, they're working on the right to rescue, to say that we should be allowed to rescue animals if they're injured or if they were dying or something, to rescue them. But right now the law is that you're not allowed. Is that what you guys are charged with when it comes to these?
So these are burglary charges.
okay.
So it's breaking,
Because it's their property.
Exactly. So dog's seen as property, and it's burglary, facing up to 10 years in prison.
Oh wow.
But and so it's not necessarily about the right to rescue. I mean, we know this is legal. Like so part of the defense when we go to court. So the whole point, we wanted to go to court. So we informed the authorities afterwards, or like we weren't hiding what we did, and it's like putting animal testing on trial basically. And so it's 12 members of the public will be on the jury. They're deciding whether this is legal or not, what we did. And we believe that they're going to find us not guilty for literally saving the lives of puppies. We did this honestly. We did it completely openly, and that's part of the defense. So for burglary in the UK, you have to prove that it was dishonest basically, and it's quite easy to prove that what we did was honest.
And they misjudged. It's going to, well, people tell me not to be so confident about it, but I find it unimaginable that you'll get 12 random members of the public to, it'll be a humiliation and a blow to the testing industry.
Yeah, exactly. But then you are like sacrificing yourself for the good. Like if they, like you are putting yourself in very risky situations, which is like it's crazy for some people to imagine that you're putting yourself out there like that.
We have like an absolute zero fear of this. Like this is
wow.
I don't know. I can sleep at night. Like I don't know.
I've done some dumb things. We've done some dumb things before, and this isn't one of them.
Yeah, rescuing beagles and
Of course, because it makes sense. Could you guys share then what Animal Rising is currently focused on, your projects?
So now, our main focus is ending factory farming. So
in the UK, that's where we're going. That's the scene for the battle.
Starting in the UK, then we'll move on to the rest of the world, I guess. But we got to start somewhere. Right now Animal Rising is focusing on ending factory farming in the UK, and we're doing this in 3 ways. So first of all, we're exposing factory farming by doing the largest investigation in the world, and we do this by training up volunteer investigators around the country. So we've trained over 100 people to come out with us on investigations. It's really transformative. I mean, just part of it is like the transformation of the people that go onto the farms. Like you said, like I'm sure the experience you had when you go onto farms is totally different when you see it with your own eyes. So people from across the animal movement, but also people that have never been involved in the animal movement at all, and even ex-farmers coming out with us on investigations and seeing this for themselves. So it's about collecting evidence to undermine factory farming. And
what kind of evidence are you looking for? Is it like what if they are breaking any laws of animal welfare?
Exactly. So obviously we want to show evidence that animals are suffering in these systems, but also collecting evidence on particularly breaking or breaching the Animal Welfare Act, like Section 4 and 9. Basically, it's like linked to animal suffering. And the second way that we're dealing with factory farming is legal action against these factory farms. So we're optimizing all of our investigations to be able to prosecute farms and companies that are involved in the industry, and we're doing that through Lawyers for Animals and Greta. And so she started with Lawyers for Animals, and we'll be prosecuting factory farms and aiming to shut some factory farms down. And then the third way is stopping the growth of factory farming by blocking planning applications for every single new factory farm in the country. So basically scaling local campaigns and like bringing residents, non-vegans into the movement to help stop new factory farms from being built. There's quite a lot going on.
And we've had 100%, since we launched it 3 or 4 months ago, we've had 100% success rate in stopping factory farms being built. We've delayed 5 and reversed the decisions on 2. And really this is a system, you win once anywhere, scale up and win everywhere. And we're building the system to scale to fight every single planning application in the country. And then there's potentially a 4th thing that we're not talking about, is to stop unfair imports, because as we stop So we're looking at building a campaign around that, working with farmers, because as you stop factory farms being built in the UK, you don't want it to be getting offshored. But of course, we undermine the strength of the domestic meat industry, but we do also, you can't ignore the imports question.
What was the way you got the factory farms to not get built? The one you just mentioned, the 5 or?
Should I explain,
Yeah,
briefly explain the system?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Number one, we built a system to track every single factory farm application in the country with a tool scraping all the planning authority websites, 450 of them, to get visibility on the problem. Up until now, every planning application, basically just, there was no opposition. It would just sneak through before anyone knew. There's usually a 1-month window to object and one planning officer to make the decision, and with maybe 10 local objections. Now we track, we know when it happens every time, and then there are 2,000 objections straight away, all custom written objections. So then it gets delayed and kicked back, and then we can build local opposition. So going and leafleting the 1,000 closest houses to the factory farm to immediately build a local campaign and opposition against the factory farm. And then once there's a local campaign of local residents, other NGOs like the WWF, Sustain, and other nature organizations start piling in, because all you have to care is that you want to destroy Mordor. If you want to stop these factory farms being built, you're on the team. Join the fellowship. That's the only thing you got to agree on. And there's non-vegan residents, and then there's more steps to it after that. But even then, if a factory farm does get approved, you can judicial review the decision of the council. And so the councils should know that every time they approve a factory farm decision, it's going to have a judicial review. And councils hate judicial reviews because, one, their decisions are scrutinised, and two, it costs them lots of money. And it's just very basically, councils, it's very hard once people are really aware that they've got a factory farm being built next door. It's hard to win the argument, and there's a lot of sleaze and corruption, it seems. I don't know if it's so much in corruption, but there's a lot of sleaze and dodginess, really. It's a bit unclear, it's a bit murky how some of these things work, because these big factory farm companies will be very highly consolidated in one area and be scaling their operations in like a fairly like geographically constrained area. So anyway, I'll stop talking about that. But but then that system, so it's how do you win once? So we built a system to win once, and now we're building a system to scale that everywhere. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really so. Could people join you? Are you looking for volunteers or for Animal Rising?
I mean, I guess the key ways to support us is to donate. So we're asking people to I mean, this work, it costs money and time, and so as an easy way to become part of the team is to donate and become a monthly donor. And other things, I mean, like we've got a petition to end factory farming. People can sign, you'll be kept updated on the campaigns. But the other thing, I guess, I mean, joining local campaigns to like stop the factory farms is one thing, but donating and becoming signing petition is the main thing at the moment. And planning application objections actually to interpret that.
Yeah, so if people are on the mailing list, if you sign the petition or join the mailing list, you'll be able to, every time there's a planning application, you can be one of those 2,000 people playing a critically important role in keeping millions of chickens and pigs out of factory farming. A beautiful way to spend your time. But I think also in the future, because we will be increasing the number, we're building, the machine is growing, and we're trying to build. We're going to provide pathways for people to get involved in more meaningful ways as well. So this is we are not a stagnant organization. A lot of this is being built as we go, and we're providing more and more ways to plug in the what we call the latent energy, turn all of this. No one likes factory farming, and we're just giving away to make sure that we don't have factory farming.
I love it because it's so intense. I am currently also working with other animal rights organizations. I see the investigative footage that they put out, and it's horrific. Like it's something from hell. Whatever happens inside factory farms is based from hell. So it's so important that we do shut these systems down. And obviously, it starts with consumer behavior as well, which is getting people to go vegan. And systematic change, obviously, very important to make sure they don't build any new ones like you guys are doing. So really amazing work. Is there anything else that we should touch upon before we wrap up our podcast?
I was going to say the thing coming up. No, we've spoken about it. Our trials at the end of the year, it is amazing if people can support people on trials. I don't know.
How can they best support you?
I
Stay involved with you guys on social media, obviously.
Yeah. I guess also. We keep asking for money and stuff at the moment. I think that's because we're spending so much money, and we really need money at the moment.
Yeah, you need lawyers. You need
that's why. What do you need at the moment? because we would run out of money in the middle of November at the moment. So that's why I keep talking. I shouldn't say on a podcast, but we're doing so much cool. We're scaling a lot of stuff at the moment, and and it's requiring quite a lot of money at the moment. So that's why I keep talking about it. So donating monthly at the moment. Usually we would say other things, but for us at the moment, the most impactful thing is probably that.
Is it on the website, just animalrising.org/donate, something like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
You got it.
Perfect.
But yeah. So Beagle trial coming up, and currently people on trial for disrupting the biggest horse race in the world back in 2023, so the Grand National. So yeah, people can just follow us on social media as well and be sharing those videos. But yeah, people have been it's been a wild journey for the last few years, and getting through those trials. But Beagles is a big opportunity.
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much. And is there any way for people to contact you guys directly, emails or anything? How can people reach you?
For emails,
Well, just on our email address.
rose@animalrising.org and Ben animalrising.org.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Changemakers podcast. My name is Farah Amber, and I hope that you enjoyed the episode. If you did, it would really mean the world to me if you could rate the podcast, and also remember to follow the podcast to stay updated on new episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.